All right, so the future of Sage. So Sage version 2018 came out, I want to say it was back in August, something like that. And then November or so, they released product update 1. And product update 2 should be out in April of this year. These seem to be a little out of order, but Sage 300 eCommerce, which would be a web store if you're thinking about setting up a web store, that's due out in May of this year. And Sage Budget and Planning is due out in March. So what can you expect in those new releases? Here's the new desktop UI. It looks a little bit different, and even though you guys are all muted, I can hear you going, ooh, it looks so nice, because it does look a little bit cleaner. It looks a little bit more modern than what we're used to. And if you've been using Sage for a long time, you've seen it slowly change over the years, and I just think this is a big improvement. It just looks nicer. If we go to the next slide here, you can see what the data entry screen looks like. It's a little bit nicer. The grids might be a little bit hard to see here, but they're alternating colors in the grid, so it makes it a little bit easier to read, and gives you a little bit more information up there in the upper right corner than what we're used to having. So again, I think it looks a little nicer, a little cleaner. Sage Inventory Advisor, so if you're using inventory control, you might want to take a look at this. Sage is continuing to improve this. So it helps you to optimize and forecast your inventory. It gives you a clear view of what you need and when you need it. So you can take a real quick view of your current inventory valuation, what your demand is going to be based on history, and what your fill rates are. There's a little warehouse forecasting, so you can see what you have in your warehouse at any given time. And you can analyze your supplier performance. So if you'll see how long it takes your supplier to get that product to you, so you can work that into your ordering formula. How far in advance do you need to order? And of course, then you can schedule and you can track your orders right there in Inventory Advisor. So it's a neat little program. If you haven't seen it and you use inventory control, you might want to take a look at it. All right, Sage AP Automation. Laura referenced this a little earlier today, and I think she gave us a pretty good comparison between DocLink and what Sage is going to be releasing, which comes from a company called Beanworks. That's due out, I'm not sure, sometime this year, I'm sorry. It's due out soon. But what it is basically is you have the invoices will be emailed into a box, into an inbox within your company, and you're outsourcing the data entry. So overnight, those invoices will be entered into your accounts payable system. And they're saying that they're estimating that the cost to process an invoice is going to go down from an average of about $15 per invoice to $2.94. So that's including labor and time, etc. And the days to process the invoice will go from 11 days down to about 3.5. And then you're going to increase your matching of invoices to purchase orders from 54% to 73%. So again, not nearly as robust as DocLink, but it will be an option if you're on Sage 300 Cloud. I also mentioned that eCommerce is coming out this year. So if you wanted to set up a web store, the Sage eCommerce is going to be the only e-commerce program that is fully integrated with Sage 300. And it's going to be fully integrated. So the data in the web store and Sage 300 are going to be synchronized every 60 seconds. So as soon as you add a new product or a new customer, it's going to be available in both places within 1 minute. You're also going to have real-time analytics, and you're going to be able to optimize your search positioning using Google Analytics. And you can also improve conversion rates using behavioral commerce. So those tools are kind of built into the system to help get your website out there. There's also a built-in CRM feature that's going to allow you to create your own web pages, again, without having a developer have to do that for you. You'll be able to create your own web pages, update your products, and keep your website up to date, or your web store, I should say. There's going to be built-in mobile commerce features, so features that will include an iPhone and an Android app, as well as a mobile storefront. So again, your customers will be able to shop from anywhere, which is kind of nice. And they're also going to train you on how to manage your web store. So it's not like they're going to sell you the e-commerce web store and then you're on your own. There will be training and support included. Obviously, you'll be able to keep track of your orders, your quotes, your shipments, your invoices, all within the e-commerce site. So that might eliminate the need for having extra licensing in Sage 300. So you can have some users that only work within the site, which should free up some users for you in Sage. There's also going to be some marketing features included in e-commerce. So you'll be able to offer or set up real-time offers on your store. You can recommend related items. So if you've ever shopped on Amazon and bought anything, which I do all the time, you know that they're always recommending other items for you. So you'd be able to do that. You can allow your customers to set up a wish list, email a friend. So you can set up any kind of marketing ideas that you may have for your web store. And most importantly, you don't have to rekey your orders. So if a customer goes on that web store and they order a product, that order is going to automatically integrate into Sage 300 without anybody having to rekey it, which is pretty nice. And you'll be able to accept credit cards. So if I'm shopping on your web store, I can process my order, get my, to do the invoice, and pay for it all in one fell swoop, and all of that comes into Sage 300 without any manual intervention. And Brian, time for a poll question.
Yeah. Next polling question. All right. So true or false? Sage eCommerce is the only e-commerce solution fully integrated with Sage. All right. Yes, everyone's got this right. So it is true. So according to Sage, Sage eCommerce is the world's only e-commerce solution provider that is fully integrated with Sage. It enables you to seamlessly extend your Sage platform into your e-commerce channel with secure and real-time connectivity, delivering you to intelligent e-commerce. And back to you, Beth.
Okay. It still says it's sharing the poll results, no?
Might be lagging a little bit.
Okay, here we go. All right, so one of the modules coming out in, I think it might be in just a few months, is Sage Budgeting and Planning. This is a nice one. There's been a third-party tool out for a number of years, but this is the first budgeting and planning module that's going to be built into Sage. And it's going to be a flexible planning and budgeting application that helps enable quicker and more informed business decisions. So it's going to automate and shorten that budget and planning cycle. And so the process is going to be it's going to encourage collaboration across all lines of businesses, and it's going to tie in to your actual live data. So on this screen here, which looks very much like Excel, so people should be comfortable working in that, they'll be able to see, and you can pull in your previous year's budget data, your actual data, and then, or your actual financial data is what I meant to say, and then you use that to create your budget for the previous year, and or modify your existing budget. So maybe something has changed during the year, you've acquired a new business line, so you're going to want to modify that budget during the year. Well, this makes it really easy to do that with, you have all of your information in one spreadsheet. So it's pretty nice. I'm looking forward to that, because that's been something, in my opinion, that's been missing from Sage from the beginning. All right, so how is Sage modernizing Sage 300? Well, I think the first thing is the cloud access, obviously. Web screens are a big thing now. People want to work from wherever they are, and this cloud is going to allow them to do that. They're also going to build in some more process flows, which really helps to speed up work and make everybody a little bit more efficient. They're going to be providing innovative Office 365 apps, advanced bots, and receipt capture. So it just makes everybody work more efficiently. And I think that's the end goal with any software, especially with an ERP system. The user interface, as you saw, is getting a little bit nicer. It's going to be easier to upgrade, and we've already actually seen that over the past few versions. Usability is getting a little bit better, and we're trying to decrease the actual data entry. Sage Intelligence, which you're going to see in a little bit. So they're going to offer Sage Intelligence in the cloud, which is really cool. You're going to love that when you see it. And of course, Sage Budgeting and Planning, which we've already talked about.